Hello, welcome in. I am Tammy Mashtaberti, best-selling author of the book The Universe is Talking to You, and this is my weekly spirit boost. I'm live here every Thursday at noon Eastern, and today I want to talk to you about something that happened to me recently as an example of how your guides, the universe, your angels, are always sort of trying to lead you and direct you, right? The reason I wrote the book, The Universe is Talking to You, is because I wanted you to start opening up to how the universe is actually talking to you, right? How the universe is actually sending you signs and directing you. And I'm actually working on my second book now, which is interesting because the universe actually, and my guides actually directed me to change the focus a little bit from what I originally had it. Still the same book, different viewpoint or different angle. So what happened to me was I have been sort of working on the concept of this new book. And I've also been working on sort of redoing my website, rebranding things a little bit. And in doing this, it sort of brought me to this place of thinking about, what is it that I teach? What is it that I really want people to know? Things like that. And of course, as part of my life and part of my daily, my daily routine, I always say prayers and I always ask for help and I always ask for guidance and I always say, here's what I'm working on. Here's what I'm trying to accomplish. Please show me the way to do this or something even better than I can possibly imagine. And so in talking about this, I was actually talking to somebody about it, and I was talking about how, I don't teach manifestation in the same way I think that other people teach manifestation. And it led me to do a video. Now, I posted this video. It's on my Facebook page. It's on my YouTube, called Stop Trying to Manifest, Do This Instead. And I just thought, I got this sort of insight about what I actually teach and how I want people to really look at creating and changing their lives. And so I created this video. And then after creating the video, I sort of had this issue. I was sending out my proposal, and I was getting feedback that it was X, Y, and Z, and oh, how great. But I was like, that's not really what it is. And so all of these sort of things were happening, and all of this information was coming at me. And the way that the universe talks to you and leads you is through information that comes to you, through your own ideas, through your own ahas, through other people who are talking to you, through feedback that you're getting from other people, right? This is the way the universe is trying to guide you and lead you. And so what happened to me was, all of a sudden I said to myself, wait a minute, this is what I want people to know. And it was this whole process that led from one thing to the next thing, to I was having this conversation, to then I got the feedback on the book, to then, I started talking to someone else about what I was changing, and all of a sudden I went, no, this is what I want this book to say. And I got so excited, like my whole body was like, I had the chills, and I was like, this is it. This is what this is what I'm doing. This is what I want. And it caused me to redo the whole thing, and now I am more excited about this than ever. The book is not coming out for a while. Trust me, we're still selling it, and publishing takes forever. But I tell you all this because I asked for the help. I asked for the guidance. I asked, here's what I'm trying to achieve. Here's what I'm trying to do. And then the universe leads you and directs you to the right conversations, to the right people, to the right feedback, to the right opportunities, to the right ideas that pop into your own head. It's constantly feeding you information. And that's exactly what it did to me. And I was like, I was saying to my husband, like, I can't believe it. I was so led to this. And it was incredible. And now I'm so excited about writing this and getting it out there. And that's how it works. The universe will always guide you, especially when you ask. And this book is going to be all about how to ask for help and let the universe lead you. And it was the perfect example because the universe led me to what I needed to do for the book. And that's what I'm teaching. So, and that's what I've been teaching, but that's what I'm teaching hopefully in this next book. And so it's incredible. And it's so incredible to me how when we start learning the way the universe communicates, when we start learning how it talks to us, when we start learning how we can talk to it, how we can request, how we can ask, you just create this ridiculously amazing relationship that you can always rely on, that always gives you the right advice, that always tells you the right thing to do. Which leads me into the other thing that I want to talk to you about is that in talking to the universe, one of the things that I rely on that maybe years ago I didn't rely on as much, but I rely on much more now, is sort of those communications directly with specific angels or specific guides. Now, I always share with people, you don't have to know who the angels and guides are. You don't have to know. You can call on what I call the collective, right? You can always call on the collective. You don't have to get bogged down with who you're calling on specifically. However, when you do know who to call on for a specific problem, when you do know who your guides are and what they're helping you with, it takes it to a whole other level. So to get started, I tell people, call on your collective. Ask for help, guide me, show me, bring me. What do I need to do for my highest good? Where do I need to go? Here's what I want to create. Take me to this or something better. You call on the collective and it works. If the other level is knowing who you're talking to and actually being able to have conversations, through automatic writing, through oracle cards, through all of the spiritual tools that are available to us. And that opened up to me a few years ago when I started getting to know sort of who my actual guides are. Now, I did not think I would be able to do that. I never thought in a million years, I'll be able to talk to my guides or I'll be able to see who they are or anything like that till I started learning how to do it. And that's actually the class that I'm teaching. It's a new class that I'm teaching next week about meeting a guide. And I'm actually going to be walking people through the process of meeting one of your guides. And I'm telling you, you can do it because I did it. So the first guide that I ever met, and again, it's a whole process, a guided process that I'll walk you through. But the first guide that I ever met was, her name is Athena. This is what I got. Her name is Athena, long blonde hair, sort of all in a white flowing gown. Not an angel, no wings or anything like that, but just sort of this white flowing gown. And she helps me specifically with taming the chaos around me, staying centered, and staying diligent with my spiritual practices. Okay? That's her purpose. Another guide that I met was named Simon. I swear to you, he looks like, in my mind's eye, because I don't see them, I close my eyes in my mind's eye is how I see it. He looks like Mr. Rogers. He has glasses, like a button-down plaid, sort of like checked shirt, brown pants. And he looks like Mr. Rogers. He looks like an accountant, which makes sense because he helps me with money and finances. Okay, so anytime I have questions about that, that's who I call on. There's another one that I met more recently, actually, which is sort of a relationship guide. And her name is Charlemagne. She has red, sort of like wavy hair, and she wears a crown of flowers around her head. I tell you all this because you can actually get specific. Now, not everybody will see. And in the class that I'm teaching next week, when I teach you to meet one of your guides, and the cool thing about it is you'll own the replay, so then you'll be able to meet more guides. I take you through all of the senses. So some people will see what the guide looks like. Some people will smell a certain scent. Some people will hear in their head certain things. Some people will feel a certain way or feel, Marilyn Aloria, who's an amazing psychic medium and actually has a book coming out about guides. She always says she knows certain guides come on certain sides of her, right? So you might feel them around certain places. Some people are able to do all of them, but I take you through an exercise to go through all of that to see, okay, what's the best way for you to do it? I happen to be a very visual person, and so it's very easy for me to see it when I close my eyes, sort of in my imagination, in my mind's eye. I can sort of really see what they look like. It depends. Doesn't have to be that way for you, but I know a lot of people it does work that way for, because I have taught this class before. I haven't taught the class in a couple of years. But anyway, so I'm excited to teach it again because, again, like I said, you're always being led. But when you can start knowing who the people are that are working with you, and who you can call on, you can start having conversations. So the other piece of this class is at the end of it, you're going to get an MP3 called a conversation with your guides, where you'll be able to listen to it, and I will guide you through having a conversation with them after class. Because what use is it for me to have you meet them if then you can't continue the relationship afterwards? So that's why I'm doing that bonus MP3. But it really does make a difference. And like I said, years ago when I started on my spiritual path, I didn't think about my guides. I didn't think about working with them. But I cannot tell you the breakthroughs that I've had when I have been able to work with them. Because now I can get reassurance that I'm doing the right thing, or that I'm on the right path. I can get specific answers to what I need to do. I'll give you an example. I have suffered from migraines for like, oh my gosh, 14 years, maybe over 14 years. And I've tried a million different things. Now I've been doing so much energy clearing, so many different things. And they have gotten better, right? They have totally improved. I've gone months without them, but they're not like gone. And they are the worst. And because I have different allergies and things like that, I can't even take Advil. I can only take like Tylenol. It does nothing. It laughs at the migraine. And so I literally wind up with a migraine sometimes for 2 or 3 days. And I was having a conversation with not just my guides, but I also will call. The other thing about this is once you learn how to talk to them, you can call in anyone. So I would call in Archangel Raphael, or I'll call in, someone else. Well, in this time that I was doing some automatic writing, I felt Archangel Raphael. And so the information that I got from Archangel Raphael, which you'll be able to get with that class, with this conversation with your guide, MP3 that you're getting, literally what came through is, you're going to figure this out. Like, because I was so frustrated. I'm like, it's been 14 years, man. What is going on? Like, I know that I'm doing better, but I'm still suffering. And so it was like, you're going to figure this out. You're actually going to figure it out by the end of the year. And this was last year. And I thought, like, okay, sure, whatever. I get it. I believe you, right? Because I'm still skeptical. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to figure this out. So interestingly enough, and synchronistically, because the universe is always guiding you, and I know Archangel Raphael and my guides were guiding me, I wound up taking a course where I learned these different breathing techniques. And I did like this 90-day challenge after I took the course, where I did these breathing techniques every day. And so I was doing them every day for 90 days. I might have skipped like a day or two, whatever. But for the most part, I was doing them every day. And I didn't realize this at the time, but I was like, oh, I haven't gotten migraines, right? But I didn't connect it. I just thought, oh, it's been like, I went 3 months without a migraine. In 14 years, I hadn't gone 3 months without a migraine, okay? And it didn't make the connection. And so after my 90-day challenge, I kind of got lax with it, where I was still doing the breathing exercises mostly, but not really consistently, not, more often than not, which is what I should be doing. Because it's a whole breathing thing. It's like a 20-minute thing that I do in the morning. And so the migraine started coming back. And I was like, what the heck? Like, what happened? What did I do? And all of a sudden it hit me. Oh my God, Tammy, you were breathing almost every day during that time, and you didn't get the migraine. I have to go back to that. I have to try again. So I went back to it. Recently I went back to it. Because like I said, I had figured it out. My guy, Archangel was right. I by the end of the year, I was practicing this, and I wasn't getting migraines. And then it went into the new year, and then I started getting migraines again for a few months in a row. Went back to breathing every day in the past month, no migraine. And I was getting them again every month. And so they were right, is what I'm saying to you. Not only were they right, but I know that I was led to that breathing practice. I know that I was led, and it took me, my human brain, time to figure out and make that connection. But this is but I got the information, and it was correct information. And I never, when I first heard it, I was like, it's been 14 years. You're going to tell me I'm going to figure this by the end of the year? I did. And knock on wood, I'm going to continue doing it. I'll let you know. But so far, I believe that breathing practice is helping me. And it's incredible. And I even talked to my doctor. I had like my yearly physical, and she was like, "Oh, it makes sense because when you're breathing, you're oxygenating. You're bringing oxygen into the body, and there's like carbon dioxide and all of this stuff, and it's vasodilation, which causes migraines. All this stuff she was saying to me, and I'm like, yeah, all I know is it works. But anyway, that's the next level, right? So there's the level of noticing the signs that are being sent, and then there's another level. And what I like to do, and what I'm going to do in the class next week also, which is called Meet Your Personal Spirit Guide. But again, you can do the process over and over to meet more. I like to actually ask them, and you'll get this in the exercise, what sign can you give me so that I know you're around me? I like to assign them. I like to not just assign them signs in our thing. You know, I like to assign signs if you've read my book. But in what I'm going to guide you through, you're going to ask them for the sign, and they're going to give it to you. And then you're going to know, okay, this is how I know that guide is around me. It's about making these connections and taking these relationships to another level, which brings you into another level of your spiritual practices, of your spiritual journey, of helping you solve problems, of helping you figure things out. It's a whole other situation. I didn't even plan to tell the migraine story, but I'm sure I was guided. I was guided for that. And so. Oh, hi. Oh, I didn't even realize that. Deandra, I would love to do the class. Yes, no, even if you don't do a class, even if you're not live, you get access to the replay, and you can always reach out to me. People reach out to me all the time on Facebook, on Instagram, via email. I always try to answer everything that I can. So yes, if you had a question after the class because you get that replay, feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to answer any questions, especially about anything that I taught that you need more help with. So anyway, that is what I wanted to share with you today, is how the universe totally guided me to change something. And that's what it does when you're open to it, when you're asking for the help. And I ask every morning, you guys, I say my prayers every morning. Every morning I call in the help for whatever it is that I'm working on then. That's how you start creating this relationship. That's how you start talking to the universe, and the universe is talking back. And now it becomes this back and forth two-way communication. And it's a whole other way of living. It's a whole other way of living. So anyway, I wanted to just share that story with you, sort of to inspire you and let you know, if you're not asking for the help every day, ask for the help. When you ask for the help, it always comes, and it comes through these subtle guidances. It comes through ideas that come to you out of nowhere and you get the chills. It comes to you through other people suggesting something. It comes to you through all of a sudden opportunities that are opening up. It comes to you in these subtle ways where you change direction. And that's what the universe is trying to get you to do. It's always trying to get you to do what's in your highest good, which is often even more amazing than you can possibly think. Which is why I say, when you're manifesting, yes, know what you want, but allow the universe to lead you to that or something ridiculously more extraordinary. And most of the time that I have seen in my life, it's ridiculously more extraordinary if you let go and you allow the universe to lead you there. And so that's what I wanted to share with you today. And again, if you are curious about the guides or meeting one of your guides, it's so much fun in the class. It's happening live next Thursday, but again, there'll be a replay. And yes, you'll be able to reach out to me and ask questions if you cannot make it live. It's so much fun, and I haven't taught it in a couple of years, and I'm like, why haven't I taught this class again? And now, I've learned more things, and I've learned more things from my own guides that I can teach you that I didn't know 2 years ago. That's sort of how I work, right? I learn and I teach. I learn and I teach. I learn and I teach. So I'm excited about it. So if you want, the link is in it's in this, if you're watching this on YouTube, it'll be underneath. If you're watching this on Facebook, it's in the description, and Instagram, after this, I will add it into the bio section so you can access that as well. I think it's still in my stories from yesterday too. But anyway, that's what I wanted to talk to you about today, is that you're always being guided, and and often we just don't know it, or we don't recognize it. Oh, thank you, Vanita. And that's it. That's basically the story. I'm going to have to end Instagram because I think it just messed me up. because my husband just called me. So I'm ending Instagram right now. Hold on a second. Man, why don't I wish the guys would remind me to put the thing on do not disturb before I go live because I always forget. You're welcome, Vanita. Yes. Oh, the pendant. Thank you. This is like a smoky quartz druzy. Oh, you're welcome, Jamie. So yeah, that's what I wanted to come on here for. So let me stop my. I'm still on Facebook. So thank you guys for joining me. I hope you will join me in that class and get that extra MP3. You can click on that link and see all the information about what you're going to get in it. It's going to be a lot of fun. And it really, if you're ready to go to that next level of your spiritual journey, to me, meeting the individuals is your next level. So I'm excited to teach it. But in the meantime, follow the signs, follow the direction that the universe is always sending you in, and know that it's coming. Make sure you're asking for the help, and then wait for it to arrive. Be open and look for the answers and the signs and the synchronicities so that the universe is going to lead you to where you need to go, because it's always doing it. It's always doing it. You're never alone. So have an amazing rest of your day, and of course into the weekend. I will be back here next Thursday. The class is actually live next Thursday night, but I will be back here next Thursday for the live at noon. And I'm thinking about maybe bringing some people into some of these weekly spirit boosts with me to have some fun conversations as well. So stay tuned for that. And sending love to you all, and I'll see you guys all next time. Bye.